Hey YouTube, I tried to finish yesterday, I just couldn't, I was too tired. But I want to point two things that you have to put attention to, that I didn't put attention to, and it just make me go backward on my work and try to fix. So as I said in the previous video, if there is something that I learned from my mistake, I will let you know to make sure you're not making the same mistake. So there are two oxygen sensors actually on the catalytic converter, on the muffler, that count the amount of carbon monoxide, all kind of gases that coming out of the motor. And they got the sensors got the wire harness that is a part of what we're taking out when we're doing this job, and it goes on each side of the motor. So basically, here it is. This is the bracket that holds it. I still didn't connect it. Why it's not coming out? Alright. Anyway, well, it doesn't come out because the wire harness is holding it. But anyway, these two wire harness, you got to pay attention to that. What I've done, the mistake I've done, and I just realized it when I started to connect everything, is one of the wire harness, when I close the valves, this one right here, when I close the valve gasket, the valve cover, let's see if we can see it from here. Yeah, this is the valve gasket. So right here, that's what it is, touching it. So what happened is I closed it inside by mistake. I didn't realize after I closed everything. When I put the intake manifold, I realized that one of the wire harnesses actually closed inside the valve gasket, valve cover. I had to reopen everything, take the intake manifold out, and move the cover for the valve to take it out and put it back in. And I can tell you that one thing that is really complicated in this car is one of the things, not one thing, one of the things. There's a lot of things that complicated, but one of the things is there is two gaskets for the intake manifold. From some reason, Mercedes put only one pin to hold them down. When you are attaching them, when you're putting the intake manifold on top, there is only one pin, so you have to glue them somehow that they're staying straight when you put the intake manifold down. I put a little bit silicone on both sides, and I'm hoping that it's sitting right, that the screws went through the intake manifold, through the gasket, into the heads. Is it sitting on the heads? No, it's sitting on the crankcase. Well, I don't remember. I think it's sitting on the heads actually. Yeah, it's got to be sitting on the heads. Anyway, I hope that the screw went through the gasket and the gasket didn't slide down. If you're going to do the same job, you're going to realize it when you get to that point that you have to put it back in. It was kind of tricky a little bit. I'm still hoping that the gasket's sitting where they're supposed to sit. There is no way at all to find out if they are or not. Only when you crank the car and see if it sucks air from places it's not supposed to. Then you know it's not sitting right. Then I hope it's not going to be the case here. One more thing I want to point out is the intake, the intake body that's sitting right here. Let me show you. Here, this one right here. I had to take it out to be able to get to all the wire harness. You see, this one is sitting actually right there. I had to take it out to be able to get to all the wire harness. To put the crankshaft position sensor. You know that there is a crankshaft position sensor right there. Let's see if I can get you light so you can see that, in case you ever have to change the crankshaft position sensor. Hopefully it's not going to be the case with this car. Let's see. Well, anyway, it's somewhere in there, the crankshaft position sensor on the back of the motor. Usually that's where it's located. The rest of the wire harness, there are a few other things that I had to connect. It was just easier to take the intake body out and do all the wiring. I did replace, if you can see, I don't know, let me show you also the vacuum lines. I changed the vacuum lines. They were just old and dry. Here's one of them. You see, you bend it, it's really, really hard. It's supposed to be more, it's not too bad. I've seen much worse than that. I've seen ones that you just touch them like that and they'll break. This one is not too bad, but might as well, you know, it doesn't cost that much. Better just replace it. So I replaced all the vacuum lines. I replaced the breathing tubes. Beside, a few of them I didn't replace. we'll let the new owner worry about that in the future. I don't think it's going to be any issue for the next probably maybe 40-50,000 miles. But I replaced the crucial ones, the one that usually will snap and break, and some of them that I broke when I was taking everything out. So I'm at the point now that I'm about to finalize all the wire harness. That might take about 2 hours to do everything. Put the intake body back in, fill up oil, fill up coolant, and see what happens. Alright, so that's it for today. In the next video, I'll show you what happens when I put the keys in. Wish me good luck.